I'm here at Dome of Strength in Chicago with one of my heroes, Dr. Cheng, Senior FSFG. Nice to see you again, sir.
An honor to spend time with you, brother.
I have a couple of questions for you, a couple of tips for the students. What would you advise for the beginners?
For beginning students of strength, one of the most important things is to not get seduced by quantity. Focusing on quality of the fundamental lifts makes every subsequent lift easier to learn. And also, if you really focus on the quantity, every lift that you do, every repetition that you do feeds a better performing body rather than merely testing the body.
Excellent. Let's say we have some pro athletes training in our gym, might be MMA fighters, might be from another sport. What would be training tip for pros?
Now, a great differentiation for most professionals to understand is that there's a big difference between training and testing. If you test the body, you're trying to push it to its limit to see what the limits of the body are. If you're training the body, the whole goal of training is to increase where those limits are safely. So sometimes if you train, it doesn't mean that you push all the way to your limit. It just means you need to find something that produces the result of having a greater quantity, having a greater inventory of movement and a greater capacity for strength.
Excellent. You are a renowned expert on prehab. You have excellent course on prehab 101. Am I right?
Thank you. Yes.
What would you say is the plague of today's age? People are sitting behind the computer, spending a lot of time sitting. What would you advise how to fight the diseases of the 21st century from your perspective?
Most of the diseases of the 21st century have to do with posture and lifestyle. As you said, most of us spend the majority of our day in semi-flexion. Not even in full flexion, where we're totally in a full ball, but just locked in some sort of semi-half state. Looking at what we could do best for training the body is merely to look at what are the ranges of motion that we should have, or what are the movement patterns that we should be able to accomplish that we don't do enough of. So if you spend the day in semi-flexion, looking at how do I get into even more flexion, as well as how do I get back into neutral, as well as what can I access in extension. So looking at the movement patterns that we are not necessarily familiar with, or not necessarily competent in, and then working to build competence is one of the most beneficial things we can do.
Excellent, thank you. How about we at StrongFirst, we train really wide spectrum of people, right? We can train kids, young guys, let's say teenagers. How about training the seniors?
Yes.
What would you advise and suggest?
Senior citizens need strength just as much as anyone else does, if not more so. And with seniors, for them to be able to control their bodies without having to use necessarily raw momentum, but being able to change the speeds from going to slow to fast, and not thinking that weightlifting or strength training or fitness is solely dependent on high speed movements, but can also involve slow controlled movements, is very valuable for them. Most seniors have or experience injuries or suffer injuries when they lose control, whether it's of their footing, whether it's of their posture, whether it's of their movement. And the most serious injuries occur during falls. So if you can control how someone relates their body to the ground, comes up out of a chair, descends down into a low squat, those sorts of things are like life insurance for the senior.
How would you summarize the yin and yang skills of what we do at StrongFirst? I think this is important, right?
Super important. One of the things that Pavel Tsatsoulin's message emphasizes is tension is strength. But one of the prerequisites for strength and one of the prerequisites for working tension is profound, deep relaxation. A lot of people don't really understand that prerequisite, or have yet to honor that prerequisite. And some people have also gotten it misconstrued, saying that working on the prerequisite just means that you're going to be weak. That's not it at all. The more profoundly you can relax, and the more deeply you can explore tension.
Excellent. Last question. Do you have any message for StrongFirst community in Czechia?
The StrongFirst community in Czechia is very blessed to have a good leader, and I look forward to meeting all of my brothers and sisters there at some time in the future.
We certainly hope so. Doc, thank you for your kind words and thank you for your wisdom.
Thank
Hopefully
you,
to see you soon.
Thank you, brother.